Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your meteorologist for the evening, Cloud Hudson, and I'll be bringing you most of tonight's top vibe stories. I may miss some, but it's just how the cookie crumbles. If y'all are back, I am glad to see you back. If you're new, welcome. This is a comprehensive weather show, meaning this is not a forecast. This is a cast, but anyway, I digress. Let's go to check out the news from our lithosphere. News from the lithosphere. That is what I call updates about our volcanoes. Let's go to our good old friend, volcanodiscovery.com. Look at what their top headlines are for today. Let's see. Here is the considerable chute at the Sierra del Fuoco, deepening after the recent lava flow and collapse event. The lava platform is visible as well, right up there. Let's take a look at what we reported on for the 12th. Here's a screenshot from the hot avalanches yesterday. Explosive activity continues on Stromboli in the Aeolian Islands of Italy. Volcanic ash plume rose about 5,000 feet, and an amazing video of the racing pyroclastic flow over the Sierra del Fuoco, captured yesterday during the massive explosion, was recorded from the Punta Labronzo webcam located on the northeast side of the volcano. The video displays hot avalanches entering the sea, scooting across the sea surface and sinking into the water. Dense ash clouds separated from the flow, phoenix clouds, partially obscured the camera view. So this is what we got before that. Phoenix clouds obscured the view. Lewitobi had discrete ash emissions. Samiru had explosive activity. Fuego did not see any activity in satellite. Nevado del Ruiz had explosive activity. So did Songhai. Reventador, no volcanic ash emissions. And Samancaya had intermittent ash emissions. Let's see. Yeah, there was quite a bit of activity on Stromboli today. That is the news from there. As for the rest of the world being on fire, we've got lots of fire warnings all across the western half of the United States. Pretty much everywhere that should be nice and moist valley basins right now are at risk of spontaneously combusting. So, just a normal summer of 2024. There are countless wildfires catching overnight. And I mean, it is very tragic. This is also where a lot of people live who can't afford to live closer to city centers. This is areas near reservations. This is everybody really being vulnerable to climate change. This is what's happening. That's what I'm going to say there. Fortunately, we're not in technically a drought in some parts of Nevada and California. However, the drought monitor, what I've got on screen right now, is showing that we are in some pretty severe drought in New Mexico, western Texas, and actually coastal Carolinas. Much of the southeast is in drought conditions right now. So don't usually have to talk about drought weather this far east. It's typically Western thing, but we've gotten so much weird weather this summer that much of our drought area of concern is satiated with water, and we are looking at drought conditions in the east. Let me bring you to our atmosphere. Actually, I skipped earthquakes. Let's go to the earthquakes. We haven't seen any 6s or 7s today, but we have seen the results of 5s scooting across the Earth's surface, and of course, 10 kilometers below down there. We got a 5.3 up here off the coast of Taiwan, Asia. We have Barbell. That's a shallow and a deep quakes here in the middle of Indonesia. I'm sorry, Philippines. 4s evenly distributed across 4 and a 4.5 evenly distributed across this area of the Himalayas. We've got deep 5s in Peru, the East Argentinian Rise, Chile, all up and down the coast. We got 4s as normal in Mexico. Yeah. Oh, we've got, yeah, I want to get on to our atmospheric update, because today we've got just a joke up here. I was about to not do the broadcast today, and then I saw this mesoscale discussion. What do you call that shape? I don't know, a shark's tooth? Is that a shark's tooth shape? Maybe? Yeah, I don't know what else to call that. We've got a shark's tooth shape, severe thunderstorm watch, mesoscale discussion. Looking at sporadic hail, strong gusts may persist in overnight hours, maybe focus from far northeast Montana across parts of North Dakota and north central South Dakota. Looks like several areas of thunderstorms are ongoing from far northeast, blah, blah, blah. This is due to discrete supercells, merged outflow boundaries. They're not really talking about, I'm not going to get into that. Basically, I just got on here to say, isn't that a funny shape there? Houston still dealing with lots of power outages. Rain across much of the eastern seaboard, and this weird leash seems to be hanging out here in the desert southwest. We are dealing with lots of overnight precipitation. They've got a lot more moisture in the ecosystem than they're used to dealing with at this part of the summer, so that means that there is quite a bit of pop-up overnight thunderstorms, very possible, and actually happening out here in Arizona. I talked about the record-setting temperatures in Arizona last night, and the temperatures must have heard me, because we got some rain to cool us down there. But if we take a look at the models, let's look at our GFS. Looking at temperatures, we're still looking at some pretty nasty temperatures out there. Pretty much everywhere. I don't know what to tell you, folks. Hello. I pray for us too. It's getting harder every day. I kind of don't even, yeah, it's hello from the dumpster fire. I'm on such a spiritual journey right now. It's really hard to communicate the weather. I hope that everybody out there is doing well. I'm not doing particularly bad, but I'm not doing particularly great either. What's next? Let's check on our, lake fire billions of gallons of water from Lake Shasta disappearing into thin air. It's called evaporation. Let's look at our Schumann resonances for today. Pretty eerily quiet. I would say this is the foreshock of something big to happen. That looks like hands swiping. Can't even say what it is. Here comes another earthquake. Where's this one? Looks like that is probably just another one in our mini stack. Yeah, we had 4.8s and 3.6s out on the Juan de Fuca coast. Fracture zone. We've got a lot going on today. Let's go to our solar weather. Max X-ray flux of the last 2 hours was an M1.3. Okay, so yeah, just in the last few hours, in the last hour actually, we have spiked to, I mean, we're at the peak of this M flare. I don't even know if it's going down yet. It might be, this is probably the biggest we've gotten in 3 days, and it's not going down. Yeah. Oh man, look at region 3738 out here. Really just exploding in size. I mean, that alpha particle, or not alpha particle, that area of primary activity, I think it's a beta type. This is a beta gamma type region, but I think that primary circle that's getting really active right here is a beta. That looks nasty. Let's go ahead and see what our coronal mass ejections have looked like. Got only 4 today, but I have a feeling more is coming as... Okay, so let's look at some imagery here. I have a feeling that as this sunspot moves towards linking up, like its Parker spiral is linking up with the Earth right now, it's about to let loose all of its great potential energy that it's not potential energy, it's kinetic energy. It's actually many kinds of energy. I feel like this area is getting unstable. Let's look that in a video. Yeah, also this massive dimming region just really closed up on us. Brought us a lot of solar wind and then really dwarfed itself out. It's a very healthy sunspot region. Not really letting anything off. I actually don't see anything destabilizing really. Go look at Elf off. Got a lot of sputtering, spattering. Whatever's happening right now, I think this is 2 months later result of that big geomagnetic storm we had in May. Something is sinking into the very bones of the Earth itself, and we're feeling unsettled by it right now. Yeah, it's a very tough day out there, I think, energetically. Let's take a look at the planetary weather for a little insight into as why. The why would be this sky right here. It's a Venus day and a Venus hour. Hope that she feels happy enough in Leo. But this is where we had a Venus retrograde in last year's Leo season. That was the big Barbenheimer. That was the big story of Venus retrograde in Leo. Now, Leo Venus gets a nice direct motion this time. What is causing our woes? Well, it's not causing our woes. It's giving fuel to the fire to look at our demons face to face is this guy right here, Mars conjunct Uranus in Taurus. That's also taking place right on the fixed star of Algol. Not a fun backstory. I think that's the beheaded one. Yeah, this is also where my Sun and Mercury are conjoined. So I am feeling this Mars conjunct Uranus in some type of way right now. I am really going through it. Emotionally, spiritually, probably. We've got the moon in Libra trying to give us some relief, but not really helping at this point. She's the peacemaker out here in Libra, and I think we're past that. The peacemaker is doing her best, but like that, we don't need peacemaker right now. We need to fight this battle head on and get through it. Yeah, we've got the moon in Libra making a sextile to Jupiter in Gemini. Unsettled, an unsettling feeling. This is not the, this is the last bit of the sun in Cancer until the sun moves into its domicile, its rulership over here in Leo. I think the sun feels pretty out of sorts here. If we're feeling any nasty energy in our stomachs, it might be the source of all this hot heat being trapped in our Cancer body, our liquids of our body. We might feel the bile especially hot this time of year. Also, sicknesses of heat are probably affecting our waters. Dehydration. Let's hydrate. It's that's what's going on. Yeah. Using this water as energy. There is a lot of there's a heat being brought to the waters in the world right now, and we are just feeling very unsettled. It is the time of going from a liquid state to going to a gaseous state. And yeah, the literal waters of our ground are evaporating. This is also a time of quickening, spiritual quickening. Things are happening really fast now. There's just no way around it. Things are ramping up. I feel like you've sensed it. You my viewers have sensed it coming upon us. But man, this kind of hit me like a truck. I did not feel this energy coming on as hard as you guys did until really today. I've started tapping into what the Earth is going through right now. I mean, she's been trying to tell us with cries for help, but climate change is here. Whatever you want to call it is here. I'm feeling it spiritually tonight. I'm really feeling the impacts of whatever this is. We've got some tornadoes observed today in North Dakota and Colorado, actually. That's surprising. Let's take a look at today's storm reports. Let me go back to what grounds me. Storm reports. Sometimes it's really hard having the weather being what grounds me because it's literally in the air. But also, it's kind of a sad story sometimes. I don't when the weather is what brings me joy, but it also is what brings me sadness. It's hard to do these shows because I try to bring joy to the weather. I try to bring happiness to you guys through the weather. And right now, I can't even lie on the behalf of the earth. Like, it's bad. It's not good. I try to be calming and peaceful and uplifting about it, as calming and peaceful as I can be when I'm talking about the earth being on fire. But indigestion, stomach acid. That's the entire weather story vibe of the West Coast right now. I feel like there are, in the next few weeks of July, as July moves in, as we move from, we're only in the first half of July, guys. As we move into the second half of July, things are going to really be unspeakably shaken up out here in the West Coast, in particular. There's some sort of birthing of a hot energy. Yeah, it's like the vibe I get looking at this map is that the West Coast needs to throw up, and maybe that means volcanoes erupting. Maybe that means wildfires, like a belching of gas. I've said it for some time now that I have a theory that I have a hypothesis that the wildfires are connected to earthquakes. The heat wave is record breaking. There are heat waves at the same time as a power outage in Houston right now. That's really unfortunate. Santa Barbara Lake fire now at 34,000 acres. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch spared, but just barely. How did that happen? I don't know. Bizarre X-shaped structure. Oh, this is talking about gold. We talked about this the other day. But NASA's gold mission has been noticing these interactions of, they have better visuals of it now. There are these bands. There are magnetic equatorial bands. I feel like my thing is lagging. I might need to check my stream. Oh, no, it's fine. This is not even the upper atmosphere. This is beyond the thermosphere. This is in the ionosphere. There have been interesting interactions forming in our magnetosphere and ionosphere up here. Something hinky's going on. That's all I can say. All I can say about it now is that these are usually the charged bands, and sometimes the charged bands have been intersecting, collapsing in on each other. That's just... I'm not going to talk about that more today. Yeah, heat wave around the world. Houston residents in hell after Beryl cuts power for millions. That means water and AC being cut. At the same time, hundreds of millions of gallons of water in Lake Shasta and other major reservoirs in Northern California has been disappearing into thin air. That is quite literally what we call evaporation. Water disappearing into thin air is evaporation. That is plain and simple what that is. We are already below projected levels of the reservoir. Yeah, no shit. The world's on fire. It's going to take the water. I don't know why this is a headline. Yeah, it's 119 degrees at Lake Shasta. Of course the level is going down. What are you talking about? Obviously. It's probably... Yeah, it's probably dropping because it's hot. I don't understand why that's a... I don't understand why that's a headline. I don't understand why I am doing headlines right now. New York tornadoes. Yeah, there's going to be tornadoes in New York. That's just... I don't even know what to say at this point. Let's look at our observed precipitation in past day. We are looking at trying to quell the drought in eastern North Carolina, Virginia and South Carolina. As we started off the broadcast showing, we are in drought conditions in much of the Southeast, but not quite making it ashore here. Let's take a look at actually our track the tropics. Not looking at any invest areas. Yeah, that 0% chance area, they're not even looking at it anymore. Let's see. Let's look at some GOES imagery. How about that? This is water vapor imagery. So it's funny. The water's disappearing, but you see over land here where there's this heat dome happening in the Southwest, there's water appearing out of thin air. That literally is the lakes drying up, all of the places that flooded drying up because they're seeing record-breaking temperatures. It's not really a mystery where the water from Lake Shasta is going when you see the air mass above Lake Shasta have a higher water vapor signature. It's like it's going into the air. It's going into the air. I don't know where else it would be going. Unfortunately, it's not helping out anybody who needs it. It's quite interesting how there's like this center of circulation right around the Four Corners region. It just that center of circulation just hangs out in that area. Quite interesting. We also had, this was the little center of circulation that tried to make it ashore here. Didn't quite make it ashore except for, I mean, I guess the lowlands, the low country of the Carolinas and Virginia Beach area, the Tidewater area, I think is it's called when you're looking at regional dialects. Tidewater area got some water, but that is it. Tropics looking a little unsettled, but not threatening. This is a lot of areas making their own weather. That's what's going on right now. Kaylee, I don't even know where to go with this stream tonight. I think my lights flick. Whenever my lights flicker, there is something happening spiritually. I think I've got to go into a state of prayer or something tonight. I can't be. I got to close this portal down a little bit earlier than I usually do. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I have to pray for the earth tonight. It really is. I'll message you if I need to reach out. I think right now what the earth needs is not for me to talk about the weather, but to be praying about it. So I gotta cut the stream short tonight. I will communicate on behalf of the earth when it wants me to do so again. But tonight, I think that I am also. Thank you for saying you're here. I need someone here too. I think it's time to go into spiritual warrior mode. The things that we talk about on this channel are no joke. It's not. I mean, I joke. I make light. I'm a jester. I'm a spiritual jester of sorts. But like, I don't know. The message I'm getting from the earth lately is just take it seriously for a second. And I gotta use my human soul to do human soul things. Gotta figure out what that is. But I have some intuition about what I'm supposed to do with it. And it's, one of my missions is to be on the show and connect with you. But one of my missions is also to be a spiritual prayer vector. And I think I need to go into that state tonight instead of broadcasting on the The internet is the human mock-up of what should be Indra's net. The internet should be Indra's net. We're all part of the golden net of consciousness knitted together. I think I need to go into that realm instead of in the physical realm right now. I love you so much. Thank you for being there for me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go into the other realm though right now. I'm going to pray for you and everybody out there who is going through the physical effects of Mother Nature going through a really tough illness right now. I feel like she's going through a fever. And it needs to be sweated out. And sometimes that means that individuals ensouled in human souls on the Earth's surface, sometimes we get sick and have to sweat it out for her, because Mother Nature is doing her best to sweat it out. But there's a battle that needs to be fought on the spiritual level, so I have to go do that. Yeah. Prayer is power. I'm going to leave that up on here. Yeah. I pray for you. I pray for us. I pray for the earth. I hope that I am doing her justice. Yeah. I gotta go. I love you all very, very, very much. It's such an honor to get to talk to you every night. So thank you. I love you. Have a great night. Goodbye.